Hey there, happy Saturday, or it's Saturday here. I don't know where you're from and what day it is for you, but whatever day it is, happy day to you. I hope you're all doing well. I hope that things are starting to move along for you and that you are working on your healing for yourself to prepare yourself for your advancement. So I want to piggyback off of something or a couple of things I said in my last video about being targeted, purposely being targeted here in the material plane. As you descend from heaven into a body here in the material realm, you hit certain layers and you're immediately put on their radar. Now, bear with me because I see things from multiple viewpoints. Okay? I can view this from my greater self, my higher self, and have a totally different viewpoint than what this form has experienced, Rebecca. Both are accurate. Both are accurate. So sometimes I swing back and forth, and that's because I'm going into two different minds, two different perspectives. But I'm trying to bridge the gap between the two, between formless, my greater self, and form, Rebecca. Because both aspects are true, both aspects are valid, and both aspects must be healed completely and understood in order to advance. And yes, I reside here. Okay, this is my physical form. My greater self energy is within me, and she overflows out of me. And sometimes she's in the driver's seat, sometimes I'm in the driver's seat. It just depends on what's needed in the moment. But the point is that the goal with this whole thing is not to ascend or descend, because ascending, once you ascend, you uproot from your human self. You go back to God in heaven, and you're like, woohoo! I don't want to go back down there. That sucks down there. I just went from low vibration to extremely high vibration of joy and bliss and peace. Why would I want to go back to that shit show? Which is despair, fear, anxiety, disgust. It's disgusting. But you can't live in that state. I lived in that state for many, many, many years. And it caused a lot of problems because I wasn't fully present in my body. I wasn't fully anchored here. And I kind of lived in a little bit of la la land at some point. So coming back down into the body, which is what I've been teaching you, yes, you have to go back and reconnect with God. Then from there, you open up your chakra system, you open up your energy, and you allow that healing higher energy to come in and start to wash away and heal the trauma in your human form. That's why your human form is low vibration and it's dense, is because of all the trauma that has been stacked on you, all the programming, the conditioning that has been embedded into you on purpose. Because like I said, when you descend, you come into a body as a baby, even in the womb, right? You come down into this body, you are automatically targeted because the entities, and this is true, the entity that controlled this particular simulation, this particular system, Samael, Beelzebub, the devil, whatever label you want to give him, because he's been around for so many lifetimes, it's ridiculous. It's since the beginning in the creation of humans, which was back in the days of Egypt, is when all this really started. And the devil replicated the system that God created for the universe and made it his own so that he could be God. So therefore, any energy, any light energy, any heaven energy that descended here, he created a layer system that your light would hit that, and then those that troll the system, troll the matrix, I think you're called archons, they just look like black energies to me. But now I see them. Because once you see something for the truth of what it is, you expose it, then it must either shift form or get away from you. This is like dealing with when I've dealt with demonic energies or demons. Once I recognize what they are and I call them out for that, then they must tell me the truth, because I am the truth. They cannot lie to me. That's why I say energies, I'm kind of getting off track. Let me just stay on track. Sorry. Because this is super important to understand. Because this is your way out. My goal, my whole mission in this body as Rebecca, why I went through all the shit I went through, why I've healed what I've healed, why I know what I know, is because I wanted freedom. I didn't want to live like this. I don't like it here. I don't like this system. I don't like the way this is set up. It's slavery. You're a slave to everything. Physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. On every dimension and every level, you're trapped. You literally are a bug in a jar. And that's the way that they keep you. You think you're making advancement, but you're not. You're not. Some of you might be, but for the most part, you're still stuck in the loop. You're still stuck in the shit. But I'm going to tell you how to get out. But in order to get out of something, in order to heal something, you have to understand why. Why and what happened. What happened to me? I didn't do this to myself. I was purposely targeted. So were you. At birth. From the beginning. And all the players in my life up until this point were part of it. There were some people that were on Team Rebecca. But for the most part, people were sent into my life to create more trauma, to keep me more bound and more stuck. Why? So that they could siphon my energy, my powers, my abilities for their own personal gain. The devil has created an incredible system here. Kudos to you. Really, kudos. You really did create your own little system within a system. You did a good job, because 98% of people out there, if not more, are totally oblivious. They're totally asleep. They say they want the truth, but then you start speaking the truth and telling them, and then nope, that can't be real. Nope. So they don't advance. So when you come down here, as a baby, as a child, you are still really connected to God. You're still really in that God energy. God energy is playful. It's fun. It sees no boundaries, no limits. It's like, woohoo, I'm going to jump off this couch into this big, massive pool, and we're going to have fun, and this is going to be amazing. And then what starts happening? You get conditioned by your parents. You get told no. You get traumatized, you get beaten, you get abused. They steal the most precious thing that you have, your true energy, which is what they want, which is your innocence, your connection to source. That's why these circles out here of individuals, including the Vatican, and they're one of the biggest problems, if not the biggest problem. But anyway, They take children, they beat them, put them in fear, and then they rape them and they siphon their energy because that's the purest form of God, because they are godless. They are godless, empty energies who have chosen to be that way, chosen to disconnect from God, chosen to pretend that they are God over people instead of actually growing and changing and healing. Instead, they target others and take from others and steal from others. And they amass wealth, they amass power, they amass fame. And they're a very large group. There are a lot of famous people that now that I'm going through this final stages of this process, that are part of this, that amass their fortune and their fame off of you. They took from you your talents, your gifts, your creativity, your healing abilities, your psychic abilities. And they do this on purpose. It's all a setup. And how do they do it? Like I said, it's love-based, actually. They target your I am, your sense of self, your self-worth. When I was going down there today, and I call it down there because I'm in the lower chakras. I'm in the sacral and the root chakra. And really in the root, well, a couple of them, in the sacral, understanding my power, why it's being siphoned, who has access to it, and what are they using it for? How did they get in? Who let them in? And then my creativity, my creative spark, my ability to create, my ability to use the God energy flowing into me and in out of me. And my sexual energy, my sense of sexual self is super important here. Procreation. Without procreation, we die. There is no human race. You have to create other humans. But the humans are created with a divine being or a light being and then a non-divine demonic being. That's why we have division and war within yourself. Because you weren't created from divine, from divinity. Listen, there's no blame here. I want to make that very clear. There is a huge difference between blame and responsibility. Blame is that I'm going to make you the problem so that I don't have to take responsibility. And also it disempowers yourself. You literally give your power over to that person by blaming them. Not going to do that. Now, is there a flip side to that? Yes, it's responsibility. It's accountability. Are these energies, individuals, responsible for the things that they did to you? Yes. And they must take responsibility. You must take responsibility. Even as a child, your greater self, your higher self knew exactly what they wanted you to do. Is that tough for you to understand as a human? Yes. I didn't like what happened to me at all. It was horrific. And the deeper I go into it, the harder it is. Because I realize how fucked up this situation is, how much they did to me, how much they stole from me, all the way down to my parents, my mother. You know how hard that is? To know what your mother did to you on purpose, with malicious intent, with envy, with all these very negative, low vibration energy. What did I do to her? I was just a kid. But this is part of the manipulation campaign. This is part of the enslavement campaign. And they attack your idea, your concept of love, of connection, your foundation. Because at the root of your foundation is the knowing that, yes, I am God. Yes, God is within me, as me. And I have overflowing abundance. I have infinite resources, infinite money, infinite everything. Love has no boundaries, has no limits. It's not possible. That's why they target that. By abusing you, neglecting you, conditional love, transactional love, twisted love, all kinds of things when it comes to love. And I'm not talking about the love that you think you know here. And I don't even really like using that term. This is a pure love of innocence that we're talking about. This is pure power. Because when we go into the word love, then you have the flip side, which is hate. Okay, that's getting into duality. Do both exist? Yes. But I want to focus on this pure love that's within you, that you came to this planet with, that was siphoned off of you by these individuals on purpose. On purpose. And you've got to get out of this. You're going to have to really sit in meditation and go down into your lower chakras. It's going to hurt. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be sad. There's going to be a ton of fear. When I go down there and I'm getting close to the I am, the remembering of who I am, I see all these sharks around me circling me. All these energies. And I see who they are. There's a lot of celebrities on that list. Y'all are going to be shocked. Later down the road, you're going to know who these players are because their lives are going to start to crumble. They're going to lose their ego. You're going to find out the truth of who they are, some of the things that they've been doing. They're going to lose their legacies, their dynasties, their money. They're going to start losing their family members, and some of them are even going to lose themselves. Because they are being forced to take on the responsibility of their actions, of stealing from a divine being for their own personal gain. In their words, by any means necessary. By taking from children. How does that make you feel? That's shitty to me. That's shitty. And here's the funny thing, the interesting thing about these energies is that once you disempower them and you take back what is yours and you leave them in their shit, in their energy, they don't like it. They can't handle it. And you got to be careful in this phase because that's when they become unstable as well. And that's when they try to come back into your life and say, oh, how's everything going? You doing okay? Here's some flowers. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Really important to understand whether these energies are coming back for the right reasons if they've learned. And in most cases, at least in my case, maybe different for you, none of them have come back with the right energy. They are coming back with the energy of they need my energy because they realize that I'm the source and everything that they have been working on is about to crumble. And without me, it fails. Not my problem. Not my problem. It's really important to work on this. This is love versus lust. These demonic energies operate in lust a Lilith energy. Lilith is not a positive energy. I don't care what people on YouTube say. These energies are going to come towards you pretending to love you, pretending to want to give to you, to help you. You have to know the difference between the energies that are for you and the energies that are wanting to take from you. This is happening in the physical. This is super important because this is going to either put you back into the cycle or it's going to change your life. First and foremost is you have to fix the things that happened to you as a child. And the way that I did this is I went into the energy and I started to delete these people, to remove them from my life. And then I started to delete my old life. Because I am not that person. I am not that story. Therefore, I have no attachment to any of those people. And there are people that were attached to me. It blew my mind. Like, how the fuck? But they don't belong there. They do not belong in my physical body. This is my physical body. This is my temple. God created this vessel for me, not for you fuckers. And excuse my language, but it's true. These people knew exactly what they were doing. And it was all done by design. Now, this is Rebecca speaking to you because Rebecca's pissed. Because she has spent 50 years 50 years with abuse, neglect, rape, torture, hatred, bullying. I've gone through all of it. All of it. I didn't deserve that. I didn't. Neither do you. But I'm not going to get into that angry energy. I'm going to stay calm, and so are you, because the minute you react, and man, it's hard because in the beginning you're like, so all kinds of emotions, and you really do have to go through them. I was angry. I was pissed. The amount of money, property, and spiritual gifts that were stolen from me, and people out there benefited from it. But that's why I came here. That's why I was created. That's why I did what I did. And that's why I'm putting an end to this. These people are not going to do this anymore. I don't care who you are. I don't care how many M's or B's you have behind your name. I don't care how many businesses you have, how much power you think you have. If you're a piece of shit and you've done shit and stolen from other people to build your empire, oh, trust me, bitch, it's coming down. I'm not going to hesitate. I see right through that. Right through it, and you need to too. Because they're going to try everything to keep you stuck. And it all is focused on that innocent energy within you. That godlike energy that you want to display. You want to be purely authentic, but every time you do, somebody fucking attacks you. They'll say something mean. They'll give you a dirty look. They'll talk about you behind your back. Like, it's amazing the amount of shit that is done to you out here. And it's all part of it. But you can get out of it. And here's the other thing. There is many of us. And we need to start working together and start helping each other through this. Encouraging each other, loving each other, like truly adding value to each other. And the main thing that these individuals are stopping is the union between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Because the union of the divine feminine and the divine masculine, which I've talked about for years, means the end of this cycle. It's the end, because it will show what real love is. Pure divine love versus this fake love that you've been dealing with. Hey, Drake. You're pretty fake yourself. Just saying. Sorry, sidebar. Anyway, but for you, it's time to go down. It's time to heal. It's time to ask God to help you through this one, because this one's going to be tough. Because there's going to be a lot of things that are going to bubble up that you probably didn't even know were there. And unfortunately, fortunately, but unfortunately, as you go through this process, a lot of people in your life are going to fall away. A lot. Maybe even to the point where I'm at, which is I have myself and God. That's it. And I'm not willing to bring any other energies into my space unless they are the 100% right energy for me, which makes me alone, which I'm absolutely okay with. Because until I 100% am in alignment with my greatest self, my higher self, my God self, and have rid myself of these low vibrational demonic energies, I'm not engaging with anyone else except you guys. But I'm just trying to help you, because I want to be free. I want you to be free. I don't want you to be I don't want anyone to be trapped in this shit anymore. I don't want you to suffer. I don't want you to be in pain. I don't want you to be hurt or abused or neglected. It breaks my heart. And I can't do it anymore. We're not doing this anymore. So, really evaluate your version of love and innocence. It's going to be a little tough. You're probably going to learn some things you didn't want to know, but get through it. Ask for God. Ask God for help. Or ask me. I'll be happy to help you. And know that I love you, and I'm really proud of you. And thank you. Thank you for doing this work. This is not easy. It's not. But here's how amazing and incredible you are. This has been going on for tens of thousands of years. This cycle, this repetitive cycle. I am the first in my lineage to break it almost 100% fully. So are you. You think about that. Think about the power that you have. You want to know why you're targeted? That's why. That's why. You're that powerful. They know it. They're scared shitless. There's a lot of groups out there, a lot of people in these covens, these groups that are going, oh crap, we're about to be exposed. And they're going to have to pay reparations. Is it reparations? I don't know the word. They're going to have to pay you back. You're going to have to give it all back. God ain't playing this time. I'm not playing. Y'all are going to see God for real. And God's true power here amongst these godless energies. So let's get on board together. All right, I love you. I'm done enough talking. Have a great day.